My hair is frizzy and there's deodorant on my shirt, and I just absolutely love the aesthetic that we have going on here. So if you guys could roll with it too and just hop on board, that was you hopping on board if that wasn't clear. I would absolutely love that. It also wouldn't be a video of mine if I had forgotten to grab books prior to filming. Alright, so as you can tell by the title, today we are doing my spring TBR. It is currently March 18th or 19th, I don't know. It doesn't fully matter for the purpose of this video. Spring is arriving. By the time this video has been posted, spring is probably upon us, and no one is more excited about that than I am. I cannot express to you how much I hate winter. I just absolutely detest every single aspect of it. And I think the fact that I was born during the winter months is really disrespectful. Either way, I digress. I have selected a few titles, if you will, that I just think fit my spring atmosphere, mood, vibe. Do with that information what you will, because I don't even fully know what it means. But like when I looked at these books, it made sense in my head and we had a connection there. So that is kind of what we're going with. I have a bunch here. I don't even know how many there are. We are going through different genres, not just romance, even though this has been predominantly romance on this channel as of late. We have a lot of different titles and genres here, so I am very excited about that part of it as well. Not that I don't love romance, because I do, otherwise I wouldn't read. I also love fantasy and I miss it and I want to be reading it again. So yeah, let's not make this video longer than it has to be and let's just dive in. These are in no particular order, but the first one, when I was compiling this list in my brain, because I didn't actually write it down, I don't have any time for that. This one just like stuck out to me as something that I have to read, and that is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I feel like maybe I've put this on a couple of TBRs, and if I haven't, it's been like on the cusp of being there. It's just a 500-page long romance, and I feel like that is a big time commitment, and I just don't know if I have that time commitment in those months. But either way, I've wanted it to be in each TBR. I don't know if I'm going to like this. As of late, I've seen so many mixed reviews, but I am so excited to read it. I think I'm gonna like it, but even if I hate it, I feel like I'm going to have fun hating it. Does that make sense to anyone? I don't know, but I want to read it one way or another. I don't even care if I like it or not. I just want to read it. This is a hate to love, fake dating book that I've seen initially I saw everybody rave about it. Now, like I said, I've seen a lot of mixed things, but I'm stoked to be reading it, so it had to be on the list. Next, we have a fantasy young adult, no less, and that is Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. I've been wanting to read this one since it came out, and I just remembered another book that I wanted to add to this stack that I didn't grab, so I guess we're popping in a picture. Six Crimson Cranes, don't really know what it's about, but I do know that it's gotten some pretty good reviews, and Elizabeth Lim always kills it with her first line of books. This is what gets me in every time. The bottom of the lake tasted like mud, salt, and regret. The water was so thick it was agony keeping my eyes open, but thank the great gods I did. Otherwise, I would have missed the dragon. Technically, that's 3 sentences, but it is the first little paragraph, and it's an amazing place to stop, but I feel like it would be an even better place to continue reading. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do this spring. Then we have my current read, and I'm very excited to read this because the sequel just came out, and I've been meaning to get into this author's work, especially since the end of last year, but just like for the past few years. Plus, I'm hoping it will reignite my love for the TV show that inspired it, and that is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, of course. Hook, Line, and Sinker just came out, and I've seen that get some mixed reviews, but based on the synopsis, I just feel like that is another one that I'm going to love, and it's going to be like made for me, written for me, you get the point. But this one is inspired by Schitt's Creek Alexis Rose. If you've seen that show, I thoroughly love it. I think that Alexis is so annoying and spoiled and bratty, but she just has so many funny moments that make me love her and make her redeemable as a character. There have been a couple of laughs already, and I'm less than 100 pages in. I am having so much fun, and the chemistry between the hero and our main character is already just chef's kiss, beautiful, amazing, 100% on board, and it's such a delight to read Tessa Bailey's writing. It's so easy and honestly comforting. It just feels like a nice cozy hug, but one that is also giving me personal space. I don't even know what that means. I did say that there was a mixture of things on here, but it's predominantly romance, so we have another romance to get to. While We Were Dating by Jasmine Guillory. I know this has been on so many TBRs and reading blogs, etc, etc, etc. I think I am 30 pages in, and I like it. I love Jasmine Guillory's writing. She is one of my all-time favorite romance authors. This is one of my favorite like romance series of all time. I've read every single book except for Royal Holiday, and I've talked about it before. It just feels weird to read a romance about people that are my parents' age. But either way, I really want to continue on with this and finish off the series because I love it so much. It brings me so much comfort and happiness, and Jasmine Guillory's writing, her steamy scenes, her yearning, and the pining, I love it. And just how amazing and strong each of her female protagonists are. Exquisite, absolutely amazing. And the willingness from the heroes to learn, I just love everything about it. So of course Jasmine Guillory was going to be on this list. How could she not be? Switching genres, you're welcome. I have a manga, and that is Tokyo Ghoul Volume 7. I don't know why horror manga just feels right for summertime for me, but it does. I just have such fond memories of reading the Tokyo Ghoul series on my roof last summer and tanning, and it was just everything that I ever wanted it to be. I could never read out there for very long because the sun was so glaring, but that is truly my happy place. This is a spring book to me. I may need to go back and reread the first 6 books in the series because I barely remember what's going on, but I really enjoy the series, and I want to continue on with it this spring, as well as so many other horror mangas, but I just figured I would mention one so that I could mention the fact that horror manga in general will hopefully be read quite a bit. Priest by Sierra Simone. This is my first Sierra Simone book. I am 126 pages in, and this book is so easy to fly through and just like sit down and read so much of it in one sitting without like realizing time has passed. It's very interesting. I'm liking it, but it's also like taboo, and I haven't read a ton of taboo romance, so maybe I should do like a taboo romance smutty vlog. Maybe that would be interesting, because I have this one, I have Credence, and I have Birthday Girl, but I would love to expand that some more. This seems like a fun way to incorporate that. Let me know if that sounds like an interesting video, even though I've already started this. But that one is about a priest who ends up falling in love with someone, and obviously priests can't do that, so it's a little bit of a conflict of interest there. Moving on, another young adult, and it's a mystery / thriller. One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. I love Olivia Reads Latte. I think everybody knows that, and she has hyped this book up so much that I am so excited for it. I've been wanting to read it since it came out, but I wasn't sure if it would be good, and she told me it was good, so I'm gonna trust that. I feel like we have a very similar reading taste, but I also haven't been reading lately, so I don't even know if that's accurate. But this is essentially The Breakfast Club mixed in with a little bit of murder, and that sounds amazing. I love The Breakfast Club movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It makes me laugh so hard that I'm crying. I just, again, have such fond memories, and I think that is really where this list like came from. Books that seemed like they were going to just add to the fond memories and happiness that spring gives me. So they're either going to add to it or bring nostalgic feelings that were already there back. If I could live in spring all year long, I would. Not a fan of the Spring Court and ACOTAR for reasons, but that is probably where I would be. So as much as I love the Night Court, I just don't belong there. Betrayed by Emily Henry. I just want to read one of Emily Henry's books because they sound exactly up my alley, and this one has made people cry, and I love that. This is about 2 authors who switch genres while they are on a writing retreat. They're not there together, but they end up meeting while they're there since they're there at the same time. They switch genres to kind of help them with their writer's block, and form a connection while they're there. This book also apparently deals with grief. And I mean, who doesn't need a good cathartic cry every once in a while? By the way, I watched 5 Feet Apart for the first time like a week ago, and I sobbed my eyes out. I'll include a picture here. If you've seen it, I'm not gonna spoil anything. If you've seen it, I did not realize that the end of the movie was the end of the movie. I thought there was going to be more. So when the credits started rolling and my boyfriend looked at me and said, "See, wasn't that sad?" I just felt, I was so mad and angry, and also I watched it while I was hormonal, so that was not a good call on anyone's part. And I have no one to blame but myself. I just felt so mad and angry, and it feels good to talk about it here. And now I want to read the book just to feel the pain all over again. 2 more books and then I'm done talking, except I just remembered that I have the 2 to... My camera very rudely decided that I was done talking before I was actually done talking because I ran out of storage. So I guess that's a sign that I need to speed this up. 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. I think I even mentioned this on last year's spring TBR, which just goes to show you how little I've been reading lately. I mean, not that I ever read the books that I put on a TBR, so like let's ignore that for all intents and purposes of this video. I really want to read this, and this cover screams spring. If you look at me and you tell me that it doesn't, I don't know what spring looks like to you, but it looks like this to me. And I know that this is another sad one, deceptively so, because the cover is beautiful. I need to read it. And Rylan read it and said that I would cry, and an old coworker of mine read it and told me that I would cry, and she doesn't cry very much, but apparently she sobbed. So now I have to read it and cry. I don't make the rules, I just follow them. Last physical book, and then we'll put the 2 pictures and then I'll be done. I don't even know how many books this is, but The Neighbor's Secret by Allison Heller. This one I got in Book of the Month, and it just seems fun. I think that's the wrong word, but I'm going to use it anyway. I'm pretty sure this was in the thriller category. I hope so, because that's what I am hoping to get out of it. I haven't really seen anybody read it, but I'm pretty sure this is a domestic thriller. Again, the cover of this just screams spring/summer vibes to me. The Erin A. Craig book that came out last year with the yellow cover, it's got honey and bees and stuff all over it. I can't remember the name of it because I'm a horrible human being, but I'll pop a picture up on the screen. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. Again, I love pastel yellow, pastel colors in general just scream fall to me. Fall to me? No, this is a spring video. Spring to me, even though I'm pretty sure this is like atmospheric, supposed to be spooky kind of deal, that's not what I get from it. I want to read it in the springtime, so I'm going to read it in the springtime, potentially. And the last one is, I want to read The Infernal Devices as well as The Mortal Instruments. I want to finish those series so bad, and I keep hearing songs. Okay, I think everybody has certain senses and stuff that they associate with other things, but for me, it's sounds. Sounds, for whatever reason, like smells, I can get rid of, things like that, but sounds, I don't know what it is, but they take me back. And specifically like music, and I'm definitely not the only person who feels this way. I'm aware of that. Whenever I hear a specific song, I can't even remember what song it is. It's on a playlist for the Infernal Devices, like soundtrack. It's not a soundtrack, but someone made a playlist on Spotify and it's on that playlist for the Infernal Devices, or maybe it's just Clockwork Angel, I don't even remember. But I listened to it while I was reading those books, and every time I hear it, every time it pops up on the radio at work, that's all I can think about. So they've been on my mind heavily lately, and I am not complaining about it. I want to go back. Okay, I can take a hint. That's the second time that I've been cut off while filming this. But anyway, I want to read the Shadowhunter books. I'm probably going to reread everything because I've forgotten so much. It's been since like 2020 since I've read anything but from that series, from that world in general. So I really want to re-listen to these audiobooks, even though some of them were not good. But it's just gonna be a good time, and I can feel it in my bones and my heart. I hope you're doing well, reading, mentally, and otherwise. I know it was probably a surprise to see a video from me, and I'm really sorry about that. But my mental health lately has sucked, and I have had no motivation, so I can't thank you guys enough from the bottom of my heart for just sticking around and being patient with me. It's never been my intent to disappear for long periods of time or even short periods of time. I hate doing that, and you guys are always on my mind. So just know it's never intentional. But again, I love you all so much. I hope you're doing well, reading, mentally, and otherwise, and I really hope to see you all in my next video, which will hopefully be very soon.